Okay, first of all, we like to represent that we are from Global Solutions, and I'm taking care of the sales and marketing part for the company Global Solution. We are representing the brands for laundry and CSSD in India, and this is one of my partners. He's also the business head
Hi,
for the same
this is
company.
Dhruv Tyagi, and we are here at the HPI 2018 and representing two of the major brands that is coming up in a big way in India. Majorly, we are covering out the CSSD part and the laundry part for the hospitals. They are into infection control, and this is one of those areas where we work for cleaning out the infection. That is one of the major hazard that as of now. So, yes, you can continue now.
Okay, so talking about the industry, I think there's a lot of things which need to be done for the industry. Right now, what we feel is because we have been working with, especially in the CSSD and laundry, still there is no standards protocols which have been set up. So we need to have those certain standards which can create those benchmark for the hospital where there is a standardization for everything. Let's say for example we talk about CSSD, right? If you talk about normal today hospitals across the globe in India, there's no other pattern which has been used to control the infection control. So we are going to create that. We want that industry should have certain standards which are able to where we create those standards which would help us in the infection control and hygiene standards for the CSSD. Similarly, we should go for the laundry as well. So if we go with these things, these parameters, I think we'll have a better approach. The people in the healthcare also would have been the advantage where they would be able to have the better savings, preventive measurement and all. So I think this is one of the part which we need to understand. That is one.
What is there is as on date is like a patient actually walks out to any of the hospital. He looks at the exteriors and the interiors of the hospital, but what actually he wants a more hygiene and more actually comfort over that he's getting out the results for whatever problem that he's coming up with the hospital. Now the hospital is again there's a if we bifurcate hospital into two parts, there's a part that has been observed and been visible to the patient, but there's a external there's a different part that is where we are actually working out, that is the CSS and the laundry. CSS is those area where department which is actually making out a or helping out to the surgeons to carry out their surgeries and all. And definitely if there is a lack of infection on the instruments and all, it would be very beneficial and helpful for the control of HAI, that is the hospital acquired infection. So we have been working truly for that and controlling out the HAI. That is one of the biggest threat as of now on earth. That's all.
What is your expectation from your company for the next 1 year?
We are expecting that we are able to set or make the standards for this healthcare industry, where we try to educate the government people and even the private doctors and all. See, if you talk about today government, the basic problem what we feel is today anybody coming to a government hospital, he goes there and because of these hospital acquired infection and all, he is staying, let's say he has to stay for 3 days. So because of these infections and not able to prevent that, you are able to spend 3 more days. So what the government is losing the money on expenditure of.
I would go a step further and say people who can afford it. The best surgeons are here, but they are going overseas only because of hospital acquired infection. I know so many cases of that. So many cases I can tell you. But the surgeons are better, the competence is better, and yet they are going to Singapore or UK or whatever.
The mindset has to change. Actually, that mindset, once see today if you talk about even the CSSD and laundry, they have been treated as like the cost center. But they are actually not the cost center. They are basically the profitability center, because the one day if CSSD or laundry is not working, it is going to have lakhs of losses for the hospital. In terms of whether not able to do the OTs, whether we are not able to maintain those standards for the linen. Today, if you talk about linen, 80% contamination is because of the linen in the hospital. So if we don't stop this, I think we are not landing anywhere.
What are your expectations re-turnover? I mean, by figures and statistics, let's say. How much growth? What are your expectations for the company
See, we are looking at almost like 150 to 200% in the next 1 year. that is the growth we are looking
I
at.
tell you
And,
why we chose about these brands is because these are IP based brands. Now, what we are emphasizing is lack of manpower and putting emphasis on the technology. These machines are
So
technology
what are the
based.
brands you are representing?
The DGM is from Switzerland, that is for the CSSD, and Fagor is from Spain, that is for the laundry. Why we are emphasizing on these brands are because they have been IP based. Now, once we have given the entire responsibility on the technology, definitely there would be people who would be monitoring these things, but there is no hamperness or there is no bypassing the things. So every stage has to be cleared, and that is again it's proven technology and it's a European brand. So we meet out all the international standards about these brands and all, and that's what we are doing. Now, if we follow out the entire protocol, definitely it will be it will the patient who is using or who has been actually treated out would be would not be having any problems about the HAI and all. That's what we are.
How large in value is the infection control systems industry in India?
If I talk about infection control, it's not only India. Worldwide is the major threat as of now. If
No,
I talk,
in crores, how large is the market in India?
if you can say about any of the hospitals in India, if I talk about even the government or the private hospitals, almost around 80% don't emphasize on proving out. So
Today, how large is the market?
if you talk about in terms of the large, I think it's even more than 1 lakh crore market for the
Which
infection
we already
control.
have. We already
it's-
have infection control systems of 1 lakh crore in India today.
In they have the market size.
The potential. That's
Yes,
the potential.
we are talking
But
about.
how much is the market size today?
I think it's negligible. Only 5 to 10%
we
of that
have
which are
to
focused
really
on that.
start up as
So
of
the
now.
addressable market is 1 lakh.
Yes, there's a huge market which need to be addressed on that, and I think the upcoming future for India is to control these, infection control and hygiene standards. The more we go into that, I think we will have a better India in terms of the healthcare segment.
It's not only government or the private. Every hospital actually requires it.
Plus, also we would like to emphasize on that the guidelines which have been created by NABH and all, it has to be more stringent. It has to be advanced as per the the new process. I think JCI is doing a wonderful job in that. So we would if we are looking at that standard only where JCI is doing, we should be able to do that with NABH also. We will have a more focus on that.
Thanks a lot. Thank you so much.
Thanks for
Thank you
your
so much,
time.
sir.